our trade unions, and that's what we do, right? Assault against love is assault against love. We got to stand with our brothers and sisters in SEIU and CPP because they're standing with the students, the children.
All right, welcome everyone. Unicorn Riot here in Chicago. Today we're just west of downtown here in the city, where the Chicago Teachers Union is having a solidarity rally today, Saturday. It is day 10 of the ongoing Chicago teachers strike here. We're just getting into town as Unicorn Riot here, so we wanted to bring you to the rally today, see what's going on, kind of introduce you to some of the folks here on the ground. There's also another rally on the south side later on in the day. We're unsure if we're going to be able to make it, but we may try to get some footage from there as well. So again, it's day 10 of the ongoing strike. Students have been out of class for 7 days now, which equals the amount of time students were out of class back in 2012 during the teacher strike. And just like then, similar issues are at stake here. It's not just about teachers' salary, from what we're hearing from the union and some of the teachers. In fact, the city has already come to the table with a salary increase that's acceptable to the union, but it's about other issues. And in fact, both the city and the union last night agreed that they're now down to the real core issues as far as bargaining that will be happening today, Saturday. And some of those core issues, as far as I know it from the teachers union itself, again, it's beyond just salary. It's about reduced class size. Again, same thing they were fighting for back in 2012 that hasn't gotten fixed. In fact, after the 2012 strike, they just kept closing more schools and yet increasing the class sizes. So that's, again, overburdened class sizes. They're asking for nurses in every school, which is just a state requirement. The city has finally come to the bargaining table saying they will, in 5 years, have a nurse in every school. But again, that's just amending the state requirement that the union and teachers were asking for. They're also asking for more teachers' aides, more support staff, adequate support staff to fill the needs, the overburdened needs in the schools as they exist right now, as they're trying to figure out the lower class sizes. Even with lower class sizes, they still would need more aides to properly take care of Chicago's youth. Another thing that is on their demand list is they want the city to acknowledge the homeless crisis and the housing crisis. There's 16,000 estimated homeless students in Chicago, and even ones that aren't homeless they don't have adequate housing. Even some of the teachers, it's very expensive to live in this city. So they're asking the city to address on paper housing needs for both staff and the students. They're also asking for sanctuary protections for some of their students that are either immigrants or for other reasons need protection from ICE and law enforcement like that. When they're just trying to get into education, and so they're asking for that as well. In fact, right before we went live, there was a speaker from a charter school who just won a strike here in Chicago, and part of what they won was sanctuary protection. So it's not that far flung for them to be asking for this. So right now, we're going to walk up to this rally. We're going to see what's going on here. There's about a couple hundred people here today. It is very cold. It's about to rain here soon, so that might have scared some people off. I have heard from a lot of people who've been on picket lines throughout the week that they're just tired. It's been a very long week, so I can understand a lot of them not showing up. Still a couple hundred people here, and this isn't picketing today. This is more of a celebration, them to get together, take a break from the picket lines. There's going to be a bunch of speakers kind of building the morale, just in case this strike does have to go into another week, which is a possibility. And we will definitely keep you informed on any information that pops up. All right, so we're walking up to the rally now. We're going to probably listen to some speakers, maybe walk around. We don't know how long we will be live for this rally here. It's supposed to go on till noon. And we'll definitely stay here live for a while, give you some eyes on the ground here today in Chicago.
Teachers are willing and ready to risk arrest because our demands need to be heard. We are out here fighting for what our students need in our schools. It's not about things that we want, and as Stacy has said, it's not things that are going to be following us home to our houses, to our addresses. We need counselors in schools and social workers to provide services that our students desperately need. Our students come into our classrooms every day, and they need people that are going to be able to support them. So know that we are ready. We are ready to risk arrest if that's what it's going to take. And until Lori hears us and puts it in writing, we will be out here all over Chicago.
with us here today a gorgeous contingent of fighters from local 881 UFCW. And part of the UFCW family is our Secretary Treasurer of the Illinois AFL-CIO, Tim Dre.
Thank you. Good morning, Chicago. Show me those signs. Raise those signs. Yeah, thank you. From Illinois AFL-CIO, 855,000 working men and women from Cairo to Antioch stand behind SEIU 73 and the Chicago Teachers Union. We stood with you shoulder to shoulder in Springfield against Bruce Rauner. He's gone. We're going to stand with you shoulder to shoulder until you win economic justice with a fair contract. Thank you very much. Show me those signs.
Thank you, Tim. Okay, next I would like to bring up a friend, a personal hero of mine, a fabulous fighter in the labor movement, Kathy Hanshew, International Vice President of Workers United. So you all can see me. Good morning, Chicago. Good morning. I am so incredibly proud to be standing here in solidarity with the Chicago Teachers Union Local 1 and SEIU Local 73 and all of the labor movement here in the city of Chicago. I want to personally thank the Chicago Teachers Union and SEIU for your commitment and dedication to the education of the leaders of our future. People all across this country and around the world are watching, and you should all be very proud. Organized labor is standing up strong all across the U.S., and our children are watching, our neighbors are watching, our parents are watching, our brothers and sisters are watching, and you can bet all the politicians in Chicago are watching, especially the ones at City Hall. They are watching us stand up against a system of corruption and inequality which is robbing communities of the resources for education, robbing us of quality health care, of affordable housing, a living wage, and destroying the very air we breathe and the water we drink. A system of giving to the rich while robbing the poor. But they are watching us stand up, and they are watching us win. We are taking to the streets, and we are winning. In 2018, over 500,000 workers in the U.S. went out on strike and won a fair contract. The highest number in over 30 years, and my guess is that 2019 is going to far surpass that. Auto workers are standing up, nurses are standing up, home health care workers are standing up, hospitality workers, garment workers, teachers, environmental groups, women's rights groups, LGBTQ, public sector and private sector, all standing up, resisting, defending, fighting, and winning. It will not be the first fight of many fights, nor will it be the last of many fights which we must win. But it is the right fight.
Who are you with Unicorn
It is the right fight. It's the right fight for the elected officials of the city of Chicago to know the game is changing. It's the right fight to say that we will no longer tolerate politicians and conditions which value special interests over the very people who elected them. It is the right fight to say that we will no longer tolerate the mismanagement and shell game for the use of our tax dollars in the city of Chicago. It is the right fight to say that we will no longer tolerate an education system of underfunding and disparity, lacking of resources and support, denying any of the children of the city of Chicago the possibility of an education which fulfills their greatest potential. And it is a fight that by standing in solidarity with CTU and SEI 73 that we will win. And when they win, we all win. Thank you. I believe
we will win. Give it up for Tracy Abbott of AFSCME Council 31. CT who? Who are we? Good morning, good morning. I bring the greetings and solidarity and support of 100,000 public service workers, active and retired, represented by our union, AFSCME, across Illinois. We stand with you in your fight for the future of public education. This city, your city, is our city. Thousands of AFSCME members work for the city of Chicago. Thousands more live here and work for Cook County, state government, city colleges, state universities, and not-for-profits. Your neighborhoods are our neighborhoods. Your students are our children and grandchildren. The kids you teach and support in the Chicago public schools are the same kids that AFSCME members serve in the Chicago public libraries. The same kids we protect at DCFS. The same kids we provide with WIC and staff benefits at DHS. And the same families who support all other public service work that AFSCME members do. So like you, our public service members know firsthand how critical staffing and resources are to provide adequate services to those we care for, right? The members and families of AFSCME are so very proud to stand with you. In fact, your struggle has already made a difference in the lives of Chicagoans by using your powerful voice to put the issue of equity and fairness for every neighborhood front and center. Right? Yeah. Woo! In fact, we too are fighting the mayor, who is seeking to further privatize our city's mental health clinics. Thank you. We believe, like you, that these services need to be available in every community in Chicago. This fight and others that we carry on today is not for ourselves, but for the Chicago neighborhoods we live in and the city residents we serve, just as you are fighting for the schools that every child needs and deserves. Now, as a mom of CPS students and a grandmom now of CPS students, I know intimately the difference that teachers and staff make in the lives of our kids. You know, you all who serve our students, you're heroes. You're really, really heroes. In fact, my daughter says, my grandkids, all the bad habits they learned from me, all the good habits they've learned from you. So you really are heroes for all that you do every day to make a difference in the lives of the students you serve. But I want to tell you something else that really blows me away. You're more than heroes, you're warriors for justice. Fighting so hard for the schools we deserve, fighting so hard for equity in our communities, fighting so hard to make Chicago a place where we all can live and thrive. Your city is our city, your fight is our fight, and when we fight, and we will win! Okay, quick reminder that there are balloons and snacks for your kiddos. I see a lot of beautiful young faces here this morning. Send them over. Get a snack, get a balloon. Okay. Thank you, Tracy. You are always on fire, and I love to hear it. All right. Next, we are going to hear from Brother Eric Brown from the Illinois Education Association.
All right, I am Red for Ed. My name is Eric Brown. I'm Red for Ed, but more importantly, I'm a Chicago resident. I'm also a science teacher at Evanston Township High School and a member of the executive committee of the National Education Association. I'm here on behalf of IEA President Kathy Griffin and the 130,000 members of the Illinois Education Association. And I'm here on behalf of NEA President Lily Eskelsen Garcia and the 3 million members of the NEA. And we are here to say we stand with you, CTU. We stand with you, SEIU. We are Red for Ed. And a very special greeting from the West Virginia Education Association President, Dale Lee, who I spoke with yesterday. He told me they were Red for Ed with CTU this week too. And I also want to tell you, I want to share with you, not that far away in Mendota, Illinois, they are red for ed because their students can't return to school until their board goes back to the negotiating table. And just like here in Chicago, the fight is for students. It is for time to plan lessons. It is for time to prepare materials. It is for time to work collaboratively. Did you know there have been more new teachers passing through Mendota schools over the past 5 years than there are teachers in their district? That kind of turnover doesn't benefit students. In Addison, where members thankfully settled their contract Wednesday night, after nearly 8 months without one, the district was losing nearly 2 dozen teachers a year. Students were suffering, and we have to remember, it's because of public education that any student in the United States has an opportunity to achieve their dreams. Because we can't help our students achieve their dreams if they don't have the resources they need. So we're not going to apologize for fighting severe teacher shortages and chronic underfunding of our schools. We're not going to apologize for fighting overcrowded classrooms and outdated materials. We're not going to apologize for stagnant salaries. Our Red for Ed movement is not a fight against something, it is a fight for something. It is a fight for what we love. We may not always get what we want, but we are always going to fight for what our students deserve. So let them hear you in Mendota. Let them hear you in West Virginia. Let them know you are Red for Ed for our students, for public education, because when we fight, that's right.
Woo! All right. Let's keep it going. We've got a powerful spirit going this morning. And I would like to bring up President Steve Powell of UFCW Local 881. Steve!
Thank you, Susan. Good morning. Good morning. I have the privilege of representing 35,000 members, and like the SEIU Local 73 and CTU Local 1, my members work in every aspect of this community in the city of Chicago, from the south side to the west side to the north side. And we're here for one thing, to win this opportunity for economic justice for our teachers, our support staff, and more importantly, for the 2 young people that preceded me speaking. They're our future in this city and in our country. That's what we're fighting for. Let's win. Let's win. Thank you.
I believe that we will win.
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 And soon, Lori Lightfoot will believe it too. All right, I would like to bring up President Ken Franklin, Amalgamated Transit Union, Local 308. And Deborah Lane, the Secretary Treasurer.
Good morning. Good morning. Let's give the previous speakers a round of applause and everybody that's out here for what we're fighting for. Well, I tell you, if William McNair had spoke, I would not come up here and say a word because I'm following a tough group. My name is Ken Franklin. I'm the president of ATU Local 308, and I'm out here to let you guys know that ATU Chicago, the train and buses that move Chicago, support SEIU, support the Chicago Teachers Union for what you're doing. So we want to give you a warm greeting and assure you that we support you. Labor and the working class is watching CTU and watching SEIU. I'm going to say that again. Labor and the working class is watching SEIU and CTU. They support you. They are warming up to doing what you are doing, and they will do what you are doing. Teachers, look around, everyone. Look at this beautiful truck, the buildings that are built, the transit systems, the clothes you wear. All of the professions on this earth have to come through a school system. It is unbelievable that you are so vital in everything that exists on the earth. but are not respected. There is nothing that goes on this earth that the teachers somehow have not been involved in raising someone's professionalism, educating them on how to do what they do. Engineers all the way to lawyers. I want to tell you there's one word in my life that I practice not using. That's the N-word associated with slavery. I've added a new N-word known as negotiations. Negotiations have been a trick to labor. We've lost in negotiations. I no longer adapt that word, and I'm adding it to the N-word that I will practice not using. I'm gonna issue a challenge to Governor J.B. Pritzker, who we supported. I'm gonna issue a challenge to Mayor Lightfoot, who we support and still support. Wake up Monday morning. Wake up Monday morning, come out of that box, come out of that past practice, and start a new desire here in Illinois to take care of working people, to give working people their respect, to treat them with dignity, and set an example for the rest of the world. In solidarity, in solidarity, in solidarity.
I love it. Oh, yeah. Okay. I love it. And I don't know about you all, but did you see the messages from ATU about get those strikers on the bus, just wave them through, let's get those kids on the bus? There's been an amazing display of solidarity across this city this whole week. It's been powerful and moving, and we are just getting started. All right, next I want to bring up Maurice Mitchell from the Working Families Party.
Good morning, Chicago! Good morning, Chicago! Hello, CTU! Hello, SEIU 73! Looking out at you all today, I can say there is nowhere else I would rather be than here at this rally with these amazing educators and these amazing workers in front of me. I'm so grateful to be here. I look at this crowd and I see workers, I see parents, I see students, I see activists and organizers, I see folk from the community. You have built this improbable coalition because it is so much bigger than a contract fight. This is a fight for the future of this city and all the working people in it. This is a fight to make sure every child in this city can get the education they deserve and feel safe and welcome in the schools. This is about ending years of chronically understaffed schools. 700 classrooms started this school year without a permanent teacher. This is about making sure there's a nurse and a counselor in every school every day of the week. It's about protections for immigrant students. It's about a fight to make sure a majority people of color workforce in SEIU can earn a wage they can live on and support their families on. Don't listen to the noise. Your demands are not outlandish. You are asking the mayor of the city to keep the promises she made while she was campaigning. Mayor Lori Lightfoot ran for office promising to be a champion for Chicago's kids, to invest in public education and provide educational equity for all students. She ran, if you remember, on a 15-point plan saying she'd take $1 billion from the state and make sure that it was invested in the schools. Do you remember? Where's that money now? Has any of it made our ways to the classroom or cafeterias or playgrounds? Has it? Okay. Has it made its way to any of the schools that you all work in? Has she set pen to paper in order to make sure that there's a binding contract for workers? That's why we're here, to demand this. And people all over the world and the country, working people, are fighting back and organizing. And you're part of that legacy that's happening in Haiti, in Chile, all over the world. Understand this, and I'll wrap up. There is no mayor no party boss, no CEO that can stand in your way. And I promise that the Working Families Party and our siblings, our brothers and sisters at the United Working Families will be with you until you achieve that victory for your students, for your schools, for our families, for our communities, for the United States, and for the world. Thank you. Si se puede.
All right. I believe that we will win. I believe that we will win. All right. So we don't have to. Okay. It's my pleasure to bring up a representative on behalf of the Chicago Federation of Musicians. Who here saw their strike at the CSO and the Lyric Opera? All right, I give you now Steve Lester of the Chicago Federation of Musicians.
Thank you. It's a great pleasure to be here. I can't believe the spirit. And all of us who've been following your 7-day strike are amazed at the energy and the tremendous drive that you bring to your cause. You know, we were out on strike for 7 weeks last March and April, and it was a pretty rough time for us. We hadn't been out in strike. You know, it'd been a long time since we'd had any kind of a significant strike. But the great friends at CTU, at SEIU, at all of the labor unions in the Chicago area, in the state, they gave us support. They made it possible for us to stay in our picket line 12 hours a day, 7 days a week for 47 days. We shut down the Orchestra Association. They couldn't put on non-union music because we shut them down. It was your support that did it. So we're speaking on behalf of Terry Jarris, the president of the Chicago Federation of Musicians, and our 3,000 members. I know we're not a huge union, we're not as big as you guys, but we are 100% behind you. We encourage you to keep the fight going until you get what you need. We are all working for the future of this city, the future of this country. We need your support. You have our support. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve. That was a brave struggle, and something that I don't think Lori Lightfoot appreciates at this point is that us union folks, we know that one day longer, one day stronger. So how about we say it together? One day longer. One day stronger. One day longer. One day stronger. One day longer. One day stronger. That's right. Okay, it is truly an honor to bring up Stephanie Bloomingdale from the Wisconsin AFL-CIO. Woo! Thank you. Good morning, Chicago. My name is Stephanie Bloomingdale, and I'm the president of the Wisconsin State AFL-CIO. And on behalf of the men and women of Wisconsin labor movement, I bring you solidarity and support. You know, in Wisconsin, we know a thing or two about taking it to the streets. And when our former Governor Scott Walker, that's right, you can move, former Governor Scott Walker, when he unleashed his attacks on teachers, on public sector workers, and on unions, you were there with us. You were there, Chicago, you were there, Illinois, and for that, we thank you. When you are a union, you are never alone. And so now it is our turn for Wisconsin to stand with you. And let me tell you, Wisconsin is with you. Because your fight is our fight, and our fight is your fight. And our fight is for our kids. Our fight is for our teachers. Our fight is for our support staff. Our fight is for public education, and our fight is for democracy. Going on strike, it's hard. It's tough. It takes sacrifice. We know that when we stand together, we are powerful. We are strong. And so, Chicago, city of broad shoulders, we in Wisconsin stand shoulder to shoulder with you. One day longer, one day stronger, one day longer, one day stronger, and going into this fight, fortunately you have great leaders. Let's give them a shout out. Jesse Sharkey, president of the Chicago Federation of Teachers. Diane Palmer, president of the SEIU Local 73. Mike Kerrigan and Tim Dre from the Illinois State AFL-CIO. Dan Montgomery from the Illinois Federation of Teachers. Bob Ryder and Don Villar, Chicago Federation of Labor. And Sandy Weingarten, president of the AFT. And most importantly, all of you, teachers, support staff, students, parents, union members, united in this righteous fight. And so, in the proud tradition of Wisconsin unions, I got a question for you, Chicago. Tell me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Tell me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Tell me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Tell me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Thank you, Chicago, and solidarity forever. Thank you, Stephanie. Okay, next I want to bring up another good friend of mine, a man I respect and admire, the Secretary-Treasurer of Teamsters Local 705, Juan Campos.
Good morning. My name is Juan Campos. I'm Principal Officer of Teamsters Local 705. We represent over 17,000 members, mostly UPS, package car drivers, UPS Freight, YRC, Holland, DHL, CSI. All those are the people that deliver packages and goods to you guys. I'm here to shout out loud and proud that the Teamsters have your back. The first thing I did when I found out the teachers were going on strike was to call every Teamster 705 representative to make sure and reminded them that our members do not cross picket lines. That our members will honor CTU and SEIU picket lines. Teamsters were known for driving trucks and delivering packages. So why am I here today? I'm here because, just like teachers, we want better pay. Just like teachers, we want better working conditions. And damn it, we want respect for the hard work we do. If we do not come together to stand up for our rights, all of us, teachers, truck drivers, fast food workers, auto workers, then we will lose fighting alone. The bosses, corporations, and the suits down at CPS, they know that. Their biggest fear is seeing us standing and fighting together. Seeing Teamster trucks, Teamster truck drivers locked arms with CTU teachers. Teamster warehouse workers lock arms with CTU support staff. That's right, I haven't forgotten about you support staff. Looking out at the crowd, I could see the fire and the fight in all your eyes. I know why the establishment is so threatened by you. You are all leaders. And leaders create leaders. I know. Because I'm a proud graduate of Chicago Public Schools. And I'm one of those leaders that would not be standing here in this podium without the hard work, dedication, and commitment from the teachers and support staff like you. I know you are all here, not for yourselves, but to improve the lives of every child in Chicago. As a union leader, as a parent, and someone who used to be one of those kids, I cannot tell cannot talk enough of how thankful I am for your commitment. The lack of respect CPS is showing you in response to your modest yet critical demands is infuriating. In the labor movement, we like to say, your fight today could be ours tomorrow. With the attacks on workers in this country, we have to be more urgent than that. Your fight today is our fight right now. Your passion is our passion. Your victory will be our victory. Thank you for everything you do in and out of the classrooms. And know, the Teamsters have your back. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Juan. And coming next, a star, a hero of the labor movement who helped inspire all of us to end the federal government shutdown. The one and only Sarah Nelson, the Association of Flight Attendants.
Who are you?
CTU!
Who are we?
CTU!
Right on! I'm Sarah Nelson, president of the Association of Flight Attendants, representing 50,000 flight attendants at 20 different airlines, many of them flying over us right now, raining down solidarity on this rally. And we have friends here from the Airline Pilots Association too, because the airline industry is with you. And we are also members of the 700,000 members of the Communications Workers of America who are also with you. Now let me tell you something. I trained to be a teacher. I got my certification as a teacher in Illinois. And I know what it was like to stand at the front of a classroom and to see kids who weren't quite getting it, who needed an extra hand, who had no one telling them in their lives, you are worth it. And when I was on the picket line at Simeon High School on Thursday morning with Jesse Sharkey, he got a question from the media about how the teachers could be inconveniencing the parents and the students of Chicago with this strike. Well, let me tell you something. This is no inconvenience. This is about telling our kids, you are worth it. You are worth it. You are worth us fighting for a livable wage for the people who make our schools run, our support staff, who should be able to care for their own families. You are worth us fighting for classroom sizes that allow us to get our hands on the kids who need an extra hand up. You are worth it because we are not just about a democracy where we go to the voting booth. We're about a democracy where we say to each other, I've got your back. Now, aviation's first responders, during that government shutdown, said to the flying public, we've got the backs of our federal sector sisters and brothers because if they can't do their jobs, we can't do our jobs. The flying public looks at us to see that they're safe. And we said to them, if it's not safe, those planes won't fly. And that's what the teachers and the school staff are saying to the students and the parents of this city. If it is not safe, and if it is not a just education, then we are going to stand in the streets until it is. You are worth it. You are worth it. You are worth it. Now, Mayor Lightfoot, I know you want to do the right thing. You told us when you ran all over this city, saying that we should have a just educational system, saying that we should have equality in this city. I'm going to tell you something. We didn't only make sure people turned out in your election, we're going to make sure we've got your back
to take on the people of the city who can afford to pay for our kids' education. Mayor Lightfoot, we've got your back. Now take a look at everyone around you and let's internalize that. Let's take this in and tell everyone around you, because this city knows how to be union. This city knows how to take care of each other. Let's hear it. I've got your back. I've got your back. I've got your back. Stand up, fight back. I've got your back. And let me just close by saying that I feel Karen Lewis with us right now. Because if it were not for Karen Lewis and the Chicago teachers, this country would have forgotten how working people can stand up for each other. And the 55 counties of West Virginia would not have sparked the strike wave that is showing that working people are standing up and taking our country back. And to show that this is what democracy looks like. 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 Let's get it done, Chicago. I am feeling fired up. How are you doing? You know, Sarah reminded me of another chant that we've been having a lot of fun with, which is, get up, get down. Chicago is a union town. Get up, get down. Chicago is a union town. Get up, get down. Chicago is a union town. Don't forget it, Mayor Lightfoot. Don't forget it. Okay, we're bringing this home. And I'm going to bring up two speakers, one from SEIU 73 and the one and only Jesse Sharkey from CTU. And then we're going to close it out with music from the Old Town School of Folk Music. Brothers and sisters, solidarity is good for the soul. And with that, I give you Science Meles and Evelyn Davis West from the CPS system.
Good morning. My name is Science Meles, Executive Vice President of Local 73. On behalf of our President, Diane Palmer, and the more than 28,000 members of Local 73, we say thank you for the support you guys have shown us. Our Local 73 members who are CPS support staff are fighting for good jobs that Chicago deserves. Most CPS support staff workers who are black and brown are chronically underpaid, living paycheck to paycheck just to make ends meet. And we don't think that's right. As some of the lowest paid workers in the city of Chicago, over half of them make less than $35,000 a year. But our SECAs, security officers, custodians, parent workers, bus aides deserve so much more. All workers deserve so much more. They deserve living wages that can support their families and their communities. They're putting everything they got into this fight. The same way they dedicate themselves to the students they serve every single day in Chicago Public Schools. CPS support staff are the backbones of our schools, and why this strike is so important. This fight is just as significant as the GM fight, the Kaiser strike. Excuse me. Across the nation, workers are demanding that employers pay higher wages, create better jobs, and brighter future for our kids, our communities, and the people that live within those communities. We have seen so much respect and togetherness over the last couple of weeks in our communities, within our neighborhoods, and from our allies as well. And we say thank you for that. We feel encouraged, our members feel encouraged, the teachers feel encouraged, our support staff feel encouraged to see the solidarity that has brought our city together and it needs to continue. To all the people who pass by and honk their horns and their trucks, we say thank you. For the people who brought us water and food and snacks, lots of candy. We say thank you. And most importantly, we say thank you to the parents and the students who understood that what we're fighting for. So we say thank you, and when we fight, we win. So CT who? CTU! CT who? CTU! CT who? CTU! Who are we? 73! Who are we? 73! Who are we? 73! Thank you!
Good morning, brothers and sisters. My name is Evelyn A. Davis West, and I am a CPS seeker, and that is a special education classroom assistant. That's what I am. I am that person that's there with the kids that's most vulnerable. And those are the ones with various disabilities and physical disabilities. And the ones who need us there to give them that hug. And the one that's there to wipe those tears. And the one that's there to help them with their transitioning through and from school. So I stand here today, brothers and sisters, standing tall for all. And all is my seekers, and my bus aides, and my bus monitors, and my CPA custodians, and my security guards, and my parent workers, others. We're standing tall, y'all, and we're tired of this. We are enough is enough, and we are tired. We've been out here since 5 and 6 o'clock in the morning for 7 days, standing tall for all. And parents, please stay woke, because this is no joke. We are out here. We are out here. And I have 2 children that are product of CPS. And my kids have not been to school in 7 days. And I'm not raising no fools. I'm raising scholars. I'm raising scholars. And you raising scholars, and you raising scholars. And we need our kids back in school. Mayor Lightfoot, get on the right foot right now. Because we are sick and tired of being sick and tired. We've been instead of living off these Raymane noodle wages. And enough is enough. We've always been like the bottom in the barrel, the crumbs. But enough is enough. I've been with CPS, back with CPS. Did you hear what I just said? Back with CPS. Because I was with CPS in 1996 as a CTU. And I'm back here now as a SEIU. And once again, enough is enough. Get these kids back in school. And I want mine back in school. And brothers and sisters, I'm standing tall for all. And I know times is getting weary. And we've been standing out. And we're on this battlefield. And this is real. We're on a battlefield. Because we're fighting for our livelihoods. And we're fighting for our families to have more. And there is money. So Mayor Lightfoot, stop it. Beep, beep, toot, toot. Turn loose that loot right now. Thank you. Thank you.
Again, thank you for watching Unicorn Riot. We're here in Chicago at Union Park. Solidarity rally for CTU and SEIU unions.
Teachers Union!
Good morning, sisters and brothers. Good morning, sisters and brothers. Well, look at all these sisters, brothers, union siblings, comrades of struggle, friends, fellow teachers, members of SEIU 73, members of the CTU. This is what Chicago looks like. This is what makes our movement strong. This is the reason why we're able to go to a bargaining table and win real improvements in our schools. It's not because we send clever bargainers, or we have well-paid lawyers, or we make arguments that they just can't get out of. It's because we represent the will of the people in every neighborhood in this city. The people who make our public schools into an institution which we cherish and care about. It's the fact that the heart and the soul, the lifeblood of the city of Chicago is in its working class neighborhoods. It's in the parts of the city that go to work every day, that hope and dream and sweat and bleed to make this city great. And we feel that very strongly every day. That what we do in the public schools is we hold the public trust. That when people send their children to school, they send us their most precious possession. They send us that thing which represents their hope in the future. And so we have some responsibility then to do what's right for your children. It's very hard for us to look at ourselves in the mirror at the end of a hard day at work, and we haven't actually done as much as we can humanly do to make sure the future of our children is secure, to make sure that our children have what they need, to make sure that we're doing our jobs as teachers and as support staff and as clinicians and all the things that make our public schools run. That is what we do, and that is why we do it. No one got into public school teaching to become rich. If we did, that wasn't very wise. But we did get into public school teaching to make a difference. And what's become clear in the last couple decades is that the tools that we need to do our job have not been provided to us. That at the same time that we sacrifice, at the same time that we make every effort possible, we're seeing none of the same consideration from the wealthy and powerful in our society. In fact, the exact opposite. They make every effort to make the lives of wealthy real estate developers easy. They make every sacrifice from the public schools and the public trust to make it so that downtown can gleam, so the wealthy can be wealthier. We have seen dog parks built for millions of dollars next to the river. We have seen high-rises erected. We have seen playing stadiums for wealthy universities. We have seen playgrounds for the rich. Ever been to Hudson Yards in New York? It's a great place for 5,000 wealthy people to spend an afternoon or a morning. And now we're going to have our own Lincoln Yards for $1 billion of taxpayers' dollars. And we know that over half of the taxing authority of the money that goes to developers comes out of the spending authority from the schools. We are literally robbing from the poor to line the pockets of developers. And it's not right, and it's too much of a tradition in this country. And so what we're seeing now is that working people have a limit. There's a limit beyond which we will not go. There comes a time when we cannot, that lump that rises in our throats, when we know something is wrong, when we cannot swallow that, and we have to spit it back up. And so we're seeing in our city a movement. And I just want to take a minute to recognize just how remarkable and inspiring the movement across the city for educational justice has been. In every neighborhood, at every school, in public parks and streets across the city, I have seen teachers doing choreographed dances and making up their own songs. People who I've never met before and who are not part of some union staff or formal organization, but a part of the informal organization of our neighborhoods and schools. The ties that bind us together. Those teachers are organizing their own marches. You know, they're organizing events that are live on Facebook. They're organizing canvassing in the neighborhoods where they talk to parents. This looks like a movement. Someone said earlier this week that Elizabeth Warren dropped by for a moment. This is not a moment. This is a movement. This is a movement for education justice in our city. This is a movement for the working class in our city. This is a movement for our future in our city. And so I want to leave you with a thought, which is that I was at bargaining earlier today, and I'm going to go back after this to sit at a bargaining table. And too often the way bargaining works and the way it's portrayed is that there's a couple of guys, and they're usually guys, sitting at a table to decide the future of many others. And one guy says a number is kind of a low number. And the other guy says a number and it's a little bit of a higher number. And there's kind of a thing where they squint at each other and they kind of come up with a number in the middle. And this is not about us finding a number in the middle. This is not about us saying, well, you know, okay, you got a deal. I want a deal. And our members want to get back to school. But we need to be able to get back to school and reopen the schools in Chicago with, number one, the members of SEIU 73 and the members of CTU Local 1 are going to walk back into school together. We are going to have a deal that gets us done for both of our unions. And that is solidarity, and solidarity is not just a word. It is something that we take seriously. And I'm also going to say that this is not going to be a deal where in order to get it right, we're going to have to squint and say, yeah, that looks all right if I look at it just so, and maybe if I try real hard and pretend real hard, that looks all right. This is going to have to be something which represents clear advances for our schools. We need to be able to see it and understand it when we walk into our buildings, so that we can look our children in the eye and say that we did something together. That, yeah, this is a sacrifice that we all made. This is hard. It's not easy to go without a check, or to disrupt your life, or to tell students that want to be playing a sports game that sports game isn't going to happen. That's not easy. But to make it worth it, it's got to be real. We got to have a counselor to take care of our students. We got to have a nurse in our school every day. We got to have classes that are really smaller. We got to have pay that represents real dignity and respect that you can see on your check. And that's what I'm going to go back to the table and do, and that's what we're going to do together. Because I'll tell you something, sisters and brothers, I'll be happy if we can end this strike soon. But if we cannot get a deal that is a clear win, we will be back at it again on Monday until we get a deal for what it takes. We will do it until it gets it done. We will do that strong. It'll be solidarity. There are some people who are anxious, but you're going to look out for your fellow sisters and brothers. You're going to look out for the other workers. You're going to take care of the person who maybe is getting a little weary. We're going to do it together because that's what solidarity looks like. So let me hear it all together. Solidarity. 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 All right.
Okay, before you go, there's something I want to tell you about that note. Like I was saying before, one day longer, one day stronger, right? Well, I want to give a shout out to our friends at the Chicago DSA, Democratic Socialists of America. They've been killing it on this strike, and they are working with Jobs with Justice. Starting next week, we're going to be putting together food pantries and groceries for the striking workers, and we're doing that with the Chicago CFL and United Way, and we're going to need your help. Okay, a couple of other things. Reverend William Barber is going to be at New Mount Pilgrim Missionary Baptist Church at 4301 West Washington tomorrow.
All right, folks, thanks for watching Unicorn Riot today. We're trying to make our way through the crowd here. The rally is wrapping up
today
here in Chicago at Union Park, just west of downtown.
United Church in Christ, and then we're going to hear some music from the Old Town Teachers Organization, IFT Local 909, new union members who are still making beautiful music. And if you have a sign on a full ticket, I'll buy Mother Jones.
All right, thanks again, everyone, for joining us today here in Chicago at Union Park. Chicago Teachers Union and SEIU Solidarity Rally today. We're going to walk around here as the rally's wrapping up, give you a little recap of what we saw and what's happening here. So we just dropped into town today. So we thought we'd show you this solidarity rally, let you know what's going on here Saturday. As we just heard, bargaining is still going on. We did hear some reports last night from the Chicago Public Schools representatives that they felt they were making good progress. Even the CTU reps, they weren't saying much, but they seemed like both agreed they were getting to the core issues. So what I'm gathering that means is we're beyond the salary at this point. Chicago Public Schools already agreed to a nurse within 5 years in every school. So it's the other things that we were hearing today. They want support workers, adequate aides, librarians, social workers, adequately staffed in every school. They want certified teachers in the 700 classrooms that didn't have one at the beginning of last year in every school. They want up-to-date classroom materials. They've even asked for protections for their immigrant population that they have here in Chicago Public Schools. Sanctuary protections is what they're calling them. Some critics have called that kind of an outlandish demand, but we heard a speaker earlier, I think right before we went live actually. She was from a union at one of the charter schools here in Chicago that also recently went on strike. Won in their contracts sanctuary protections for their undocumented students. So it is something that can be done. So I know that's what they're holding out for. We heard from one of the reps just now that they're going to hold out through Monday if they don't get their demands that they want, and it's for justice for their students, adequate housing for their students is also what they're asking for. There's 16,000 homeless students in Chicago, and so they're seeking some kind of acknowledgement from the city that is an issue and what we can start doing about that. Even for the teachers, it's a very expensive city to live in, and they would like some kind of possible housing benefits to them, to some of the underpaid, underprivileged teachers as well. And a lot of the students, beyond the homeless ones, also live in housing and environments that aren't stable. They want that addressed as well. So we're going to have some live music here in a minute. Hopefully we can stay a little clear of it. Let's walk around here a little bit more.
We are here in solidarity with all of you. We are New Union at the Old Town School of Folk Music.
So again, we just got here today, and the only way we can do things like this and get in our car and come here and try to bring you the coverage. And again, we're prepared to stay here all week if the strike goes on. It's from donations from viewers like you, and we're having a great donation drive right now, trying to get more reoccurring donors to help sustain us into the future, help us keep growing. If you go to our website, unicornriot.ninja, there's a banner towards the top of the page that says help keep us growing into 2020. You can click on that. It'll bring you to all the information on how you can do that. And people who are giving $5 or more a month will give you a couple stickers and a magnet just as a thank you for pledging that donation to Unicorn Riot. We really appreciate it.
You want to get into this? You want to go check out the music? Do the negotiation. You heard what he said on the stage. No, I'm pretty sure it'll be the same. I want to try to...
Musicians from the Old Town School of Folk Music here in Chicago. So hundreds of people definitely showed up today to the Solidarity Rally here at, that was loud, here at Union Park in Chicago. We're just west of downtown here. There's supposedly, I'm just hearing, there's another solidarity rally on the south side. This is a big city, so they can't expect, it can take over an hour sometimes to get from the south side up to central and north side of Chicago. So they're going to have another rally down there tonight. If we can make it there to cover, we will definitely try to be there for you. If not, again, we're planning to be here as long as we need to cover what's going on here. Obviously, hopefully, they can come to a bargaining conclusion today. Even the teachers want the kids back in class. But if not, we are prepared to keep bringing you the coverage. And of course, check out Unicorn Riot on Twitter, UR_ninja, and we'll give you some updates as we find out about what's going on with the strike here in Chicago. So we're going to probably wrap up the stream here in just a minute. Oh, by the way, just wanted to mention, so even if the strike does wrap up, we're still going to be here at least through Monday. I know Trump is coming to do a fundraiser Monday morning, so we're definitely planning on covering that in some fashion. And if the strike is still going on, Monday is going to be a very busy day, so make sure you tune into Unicorn Riot Monday. Check out our website, unicornriot.ninja. Check us out on Facebook. Right now we're live on Facebook, Periscope, live stream, and YouTube. So you can check us out at any of those channels there. Again, follow us on Twitter, UR_ninja. And again, we can only bring you this live coverage from Minnesota, from Illinois, from around the country, and around the world, actually, with our coverage, because of donors like you. And we do have a great fundraising drive right now. If you donate as little as $5 a month to us, we're going to send you some free gifts, a couple stickers and magnets, just as a thank you, that say Unicorn Riot on them. We really appreciate it. If you can't support us, thank you for watching and sharing our information. We really appreciate that. And always keep in mind, your donation helps keep it free for others who can't pay. We don't have paywalls, we don't take ads or run commercials. And so when you're donating, you're helping us keep this free to people who either can't or don't want to pay themselves. And so that helps keep us going. It's going to help keep us growing the more sustained donors we get into 2020. So we really do thank you for everyone who's contributed to us in the past. Again, so we're wrapping up here in Chicago, Union Park. CTU having just a solidarity rally today. It was meant to be fun, kind of take them away from the picket line and the protesting. But again, if there's no conclusion tonight, we will be out on the picket lines hopefully Monday and try to bring you whatever coverage we can. And we will update you. If we find out anything about negotiations tonight, we will update you on our Twitter, UR_ninja. All right, so I think that's going to wrap up our live stream for the day, or for right now. Could be live later, I don't know. Again, stay tuned to our feed, and we will let you know. So again, it's John Z here, your host for today. We have Lorenzo manning the camera, and we've got Andrew at home producing the live show for us. We appreciate it. And other members as well helping us out with their social media. And that's how we're able to operate like this. So thank you, everyone at home helping us out. John here, Unicorn Riot. We're out. Thank you.